May 2022. Things changed for the rapper under the YSL record label, as many of the rappers on the label were arrested and slammed with RICO charges. Among the rappers arrested on that fateful day were rappers Young Thug and Gunna. For the past couple of months, they have both been locked up as they were denied release on bond. However, all that changed when Gunna snitched on Young Thug to get himself released from prison. Gunna snitch on Young Thug. It's no news that rappers Gunna and Young Thug have spent the past couple of months locked up behind bars. However, while Gunna has lesser charges on his neck, Young Thug has been slammed with charge after charge, including an 88-page indictment. Fans thought it couldn't get any worse for the rapper, but they were all wrong. Things changed for Young Thug after Gunna and a couple of other people who were arrested with him snitched on him to the feds. According to the news making media rounds, at least 5 people have snitched to the feds that Young Thug is, in fact, guilty of some of the charges laid against him. One of these people is Gunna. It is no surprise that the authorities have been able to shake out answers from the men in their custody. While the information on what Gunna told the authorities is still developing, it has been revealed that one of the men who ratted Young Thug out is Kenneth Copeland, known in the streets as Lil Woody. According to reports, Lil Woody told the feds that he was with Young Thug when he rented the Infinity car that was used in a drive-by attack by some of Thug's goons. When the news of Lil Woody began going viral, people who knew him doubted it, as they claimed he was a tough street guy and he would never rat out to the feds. Well, it turns out they didn't know Lil Woody well enough, because he also told the feds that not only did Young acquire the vehicle used in the attack, but the attack was also done at his orders. Reports making it out of the case are that at least 5 people are becoming state witnesses, including Gunna. This means that everyone is trying to save their own skin, but Young Thug may have to bear the burn for all of them. New charges against Young Thug. While new witnesses are coming up and YSL members are ratting out, Young Thug seems to be taking all of the heat, as he has been slammed with new charges. According to a new indictment that was filed in Fulton County Superior Court in the first week of August 2022, Young Thug now faces additional charges. The new charges against him include participation in criminal street gang activity, violation of the Georgia Controlled Substances Act, possession of a firearm during the commission of a felony, possession of a machine, and charges. While fans were concerned that the charges resulted from him being snitched on, it was clarified that Thug's recent charges are a result of evidence the investigators found during Thug's arrest on the original May 9th indictment at his home in Atlanta's upscale Buckhead neighborhood. The initial 88-page indictment contained 56 counts against 28 people for alleged involvement in crimes committed on behalf of the Young Slime Life street gang. The updated indictment now contains 65 counts, 6 of which apply to Young Thug. When Young Thug was initially arrested, his lawyer, Brian Steele, claimed that he was innocent and he had not committed any crimes. However, with the additional counts to his RICO case and his name being called by witnesses, Brian Steele has doubled down on his words that his client is innocent. He said during a quick interview, "Mr. Williams has committed absolutely no crimes. We cannot wait for a trial date." Why Gunna snitched on Thug. While fans are still trying to get over the fact that Gunna and a couple of people involved in the indictment snitched on Young Thug, some fans can't help but ask why Gunna would do such a thing to Young Thug, given their relationship. However, when the news of Gunna's release hit the media, it began to fill in blank spaces. It turns out that Gunna snitched on Young Thug to get on the good side of the feds. This means they may have placed a deal involving Gunna's release from prison. The news of Gunna's release spread on Twitter, where it was shared that the rapper could walk out of jail right before his trial. Gunna had previously applied for a release on bond, and he had been denied severely. While his legal team fought to get him out, the prosecution always found a heavier claim against him to keep him locked up. Gunna's attorney Steve Sato told several news outlets Sergio Kitchens, aka Gunna, and the defense team are very disappointed in the denial of bond. He went further to say Gunna produced substantial evidence that bond was warranted for him. The prosecution against produced no evidence at all. Instead, it chose to rely on vague and non-specific allegations and speculation through the statements of the prosecutor alone. Young Thug, on the other hand, has also applied for bond several times, but he's been denied. The last time the judge denied him release on bond, it was on the grounds that he was a threat to society and witnesses in the case. Judge Robert Wolf denied Young Thug bond because he was a flight risk and added that he would also risk committing additional felonies if released. Young Thug's lawyer, Brian Steele, argued that Wolf's ruling would set a precedent for the Superior Court to deny bond. Wolf disagreed. "I'm only making a decision today, based on what's in front of me now," he said. Even if there was a chance that Young Thug would have been released on bond before his trial date, all of that has been ruled out as the rapper faces new charges and witnesses are testifying against him. Gunna's life in prison. While Gunna may be getting out of jail soon, it's only right that we do a quick catch-up on how life has been for him behind those bars. On July 16th, 2022, videos of Gunna behind bars popped up on the internet. The rapper was on a video call with his godson and his parents. Over the video, a woman was heard saying, "He's like, what's going on?" Gunna replied saying, "Sounds like a real player though." The rapper was seen smiling as the baby giggled in response. Everyone in the room shared in the laughter, and though the clip was brief, it gave Gunna's fans the comfort of knowing that he was doing his best to remain in high spirits.
He like, what's going on?
Sound like a real player though, whatever happened.
The rapper also shared a letter on his 29th birthday. It was his way of letting his fans know that he may have been locked up, but he still got a life and a career, and his fans are holding him up. Gunna didn't forget to write about his innocence in the letter he shared. "I'm being falsely accused and would never stop fighting to clear my name. 2022 has been one of the best years of my life, despite this difficult situation," Gunna shared. "This year I had the world pushing P. I worked every day to show God how grateful I am for my gift, for my art, for my life, and to be able to provide for my loved ones," he continued. "For now, I don't have my freedom, but I am innocent." Gunna wrote in the caption of the open, which he posted to his Instagram page, 22 and 2. "Just a bed and a shower, no windows, just walls. Can't see or talk to anyone. I'm writing now and still praying every day," he continued. "I was raised to fight fire with water, even though my country's amendments have failed me. Protect black art." The birthday letter and video calls aren't the only news about Gunna that he has shared from the prison walls. In fact, the rapper got into serious trouble after allegedly smuggling into his prison cell. After almost 2 months of getting locked up, Gunna found himself in a bit of a scuffle after he was hit with an inflammatory accusation involving jail contraband. According to reports, an incident happened on May 14th, 2022, where prosecutors claimed that a nurse was caught attempting to smuggle a bag containing hard into jail, and some of the were for Gunna.
All allegations, but as you mentioned, it was May 14th when prosecutors say a nurse attempted to smuggle a bag inside this jail. It was full of, but when a deputy confronted her, she dropped it, then took off running. Now, today in court, prosecutors claim that some of the were intended for the rapper Gunna.
The reports claim that the nurse, who was a jail employee, arrived at the jail before her shift. However, as she walked into the facility, authorities claimed that she smelled like, and when they confronted her about it, she ran out of the premises. Shortly after apprehending her, they found out that the bag she was carrying contained contraband, 6.8 ounces, 20 grams of suspected 200 cigarettes, and loose tobacco. After much interrogations, they figured that some of the she tried to smuggle belonged to Gunna. In response, Gunna's attorney Steve Sato said the situation is extremely untrue. None of the allegations made today, the so-called new allegations, are accurate. Steve Sato said in a statement to a news outlet,
"None of the allegations made today, these so-called new allegations, are accurate."
Fans react to Gunna getting released. When the news of Gunna's release hit the media, fans couldn't help but make comments about the situation. While some fans were happy he would be released, others hoped he remained locked up. Some people on social media also talked about how his release may have been a result of him snitching on Young Thug to the feds. One fan wrote on Twitter, "I don't know if anyone has watched the movie Dutch, or which featured Gunna, but I think he's really living out the movie. Gunna ain't snitch on nobody, but if he's getting out, God's good. The truly innocent gonna get justified. There ain't got On him, on God, praying hands emoji. Another fan wrote, Gunna snitching on Young Thug so he could get out next week. Unlike the previous reactions, this tweet didn't seem to be on Gunna's side as he tweeted, keep him locked up, praying hands emoji, in response to a tweet that talked about Gunna's release. Gunna and Young Thug trial. Young Thug and Gunna have both been denied bond several times, and according to the judges, they believe that both rappers will be a threat to the community, and they could probably harm the families of witnesses who are trying to help with the case. However, with the recent development, Gunna may be making it out of jail long before Young Thug would see the outside walls of the prison. With the allegations coming up against Young Thug, he and his legal team are more than eager to bring the trial process to get over this drama with the feds. According to reports, the trial date has been set for January 9th, 2023. This means that Young Thug would likely be spending the rest of 2022 locked up behind bars, at least until he's released on bond. His legal team has pushed for an earlier date for trial. According to the judge, it is likely that the date will be changed. The judge said, it could happen sooner. Do my level best to make sure this case gets tried as expeditiously as possible. If I can get it on the calendar before January 9th, I will endeavor to do so.